Hello. Hi, Karen. Thanks for hopping in. How are you this evening? Great. Hi, Gifted Visions. What's your first name again? Hi, Deidre. Thanks for joining. Be sure to be sure to share with your friends and tap the screen. Hi, Vanita. I found this quote. I liked it. I've had an awesome day today. Hi, Danielle. I'm following instructions. I like this quote. Relationships are like glass. Sometimes it's best to leave them broken. I am going to turn this around here. Whoops. Good evening. Good evening. Thank you guys so much for joining me. I am Precious Brown. I am your progressive power coach. I am the CEO and founder of Power in You, and I have been dubbed your divorceologist. And I kind of like that. I had an awesome talk today with an awesome coach who helped me understand yay, thank you. Understand and help me get some clarity on what I'm really trying to do. So you'll see some changes coming down the pipeline. Thank you guys so much for hearts. And this evening, I just want to talk with you really quickly about embracing the process. In my coaching today, I found that my target women, the women that I really want to help, are the women that are divorced, because that process is tough and not everybody gets through it with flying colors. And so I was created so that I can help you through that process. Yes, awesome. So, just really quick, I want to talk about embracing your process. And yes, it is very difficult. Um, And in embracing your process, you have to keep an open mind. I talked about having an open mind the other evening, and now it's even clearer to me, because just by having an open mind today, I was able to get the clarity that I need so I can help and reach the people that I'm supposed to reach. So, in that, sometimes we go through different issues in life. One being a divorcee. I am a two-time divorcee. And going through that, first husband I was with we were together 17 years. So going through that process and being able to pick up the pieces was not easy. I had 4 children that were teens. And so I'm dealing with teen hormones. I'm dealing with my hormones. I'm dealing with going through the process of just us not being together. All the kids knew were their parents being together. So I just really quickly want to give you a couple tips on how you can embrace that process. Like I said, one is keeping an open mind, knowing that you are somebody outside of that marriage. You are needed and valued outside of whatever you went through in the marriage. The marriage was a, yes, keep an open mind. Thanks for joining, Cancerian Angel. What's your real name? Thanks so much for joining. You are your own person outside of that entity. A lot of times in marriage, we lose who we are. We lose sight of why we're really here, what our purpose is. We think we're only here to be a wife and a mom and a career woman and or anything else that you can name. But we have a particular purpose, and we're here. We were put on this earth to fulfill that purpose. Sometimes we lose sight of that. So if we keep an open mind when going through a divorce, it will allow us to be reinstated, so to speak, so that we can get back on the right path, so that we can start to follow that purpose. Does that make sense to anybody? You have to. It's a must that you keep an open mind. Through all the pain, through all the hurt, through all the different events that has happened, you have to keep an open mind. Hi, Stay Highs. Thanks for joining. The next tip would be for you to not shut down your love. You have to still give love freely in order to draw love to you again. And as much as it hurts, and as much as you don't want to deal with it, and as much as you feel like it's better if I just don't love anymore because of all that I've been through, I'm here to tell you it's something else. Don't shut down your love. Do not. Thanks for scribing, Karen. Do not shut down your love. You have to continue to love through the pain, because honestly, that's what's going to get you through. I'm not saying jump out and get another man. I'm not saying that you have to go loving up on somebody, which brings me to my next point. But I'm not saying that. I'm saying keep your heart open to receive the love that's out there, that was already predestined and ordained for you. But because we were impatient, we chose the wrong mate, and it ended in our hearts being broken. The next point is spend some time alone. I'm gonna let you think about that one for a second. Not everybody wants to do that. For some reason, we have this phobia about being alone. But when you're out of one relationship, and that middle ground, so it's like in a valley. You have a mountain over here, and then there's the valley that you have to cross, and then there's another mountain over here. So you're on the downslope of the mountain. So you're right at the valley. So you're in the valley, and you don't want to be alone. Why? Because you don't want to have to think about going up the other side of the mountain that's across the valley. You don't want to deal with the things that has happened. You don't want to deal with your emotions. You don't want to deal with all the things that came with the previous relationship. But I got a news flash. If you don't deal with it, then you will not, you hear me clearly, you will not be able to be 100% in the new relationship. So spend some time alone. My last point for this evening would be to forgive. I know, the F-bomb. Ooh, nobody wants to hear that. But you have to forgive. Forgiving is acknowledging the issue, addressing it, change what you can, and release the rest. You must forgive. If you do not forgive, you will stay in bondage, which keeps you from living free. See how it all ties together? Living free. You must forgive. If you don't forgive, then you will stay in bondage. Thank you guys so much for hearts. So, I just want to jump on and reintroduce myself as the Divorcologist. And I will be bringing you, I am an expert on this topic when I say I have enough tips for everybody in the world, what to do, what not to do. Because get this, not all of your marriage was bad. So you have to sift it like it's wheat. You put it all in your little harness, your little sifter. You remember the old school sifters that your mom used to have when she was baking the cake with the flour that you put it in there and they had the little screen at the bottom? You put all your issues in there. And all the good stuff, you keep it and build on it and release the rest. Release all that old stuff. All the bad, hurtful things. You can release that. And that's a whole nother scope on how to release. But I'll get into that. But you sift that. Sift everything that was in the marriage. You sift it. Keep all the positive, all the good, what you learned, what you will do, what you won't do. So that when you cross that valley and you're able to go up that other mountain, you'll know what not to carry with you. I pray that helps somebody tonight. And yes, it is very important to release hurt because you stifle your growth. Yes. So, and thank you, Deidre, because it's not, divorce isn't just a husband and wife. You can have long-term relationships with people and you feel like you're married. And sometimes you have to divorce them. It's the cutting of the ties or cutting of the relationship that feelings are attached to. But you have to move on. And when it's time to move on, you have to move on. I was listening to TD Jakes today, and he was talking about, gave the analogy of Jesus taking the 3 disciples up the mountain when he showed them his glory and how they wanted to take other people. You can't take everybody with you. Yes, cut the ties. You can't take everybody with you. So cut the ties that need to be cut so that when you get across that valley, after spending your time alone and loving on yourself, because when you leave yourself open to love, you learn how to love you for who you are and get some clarity on that. Because again, when I started, I reminded us that sometimes we lose ourselves in everything else that we do. So when you get that clarity and you spent that time alone and you learn to love on yourself and you are willing to have your heart open to love somebody else, then you're able to cross that valley and go up the other side of that mountain. And you never know what blessing is on the other side of that mountain. I thank you guys so much for joining me this evening. I am Precious Brown, your progressive power coach and your divorceologist. I got to get used to saying that. Oh, and in case y'all wondering why I'm all dressed up this evening, I had a photo shoot. I had so much fun. And the pictures are to be released here in a second. And I just thank you guys for spending some time with me this evening on this scope. Please share with your followers. Tap that screen for hearts. And those of you on the replay, I pray that this scope blesses you in some type of way. Share with your friends and followers, and somebody can be helped. You never know what somebody else is going through. So be sure to share. And I'll see you guys again soon. I'll talk to you tomorrow night, 10 p.m.-ish. Because I always seem to be doing something right at 10 and forget. So I'm going to have to set my alarm. No excuses. This year, no excuses. We gonna overcome. No excuses. Good night. Thank you guys so much for joining me. I'll talk to you soon.